Hey guys, sad and interesting story that I want to share with you guys today. A couple of days ago on Facebook, a friend of mine tagged a few of us on this story and this link about elderly abuse towards Stan Lee. Stan Lee, you know, like the godfather of Marvel Comics. So what it came down to was that the FBI, the police, have gone to his house several times because Stan Lee is getting older. He's 95 years old now, and he's having a hard time remembering who his helper is, who takes care of him. But apparently there's allegations that he was being abused. You know, they were taking advantage of him financially. They were taking advantage of his loss of hearing. He was impaired in hearing now. So I saw this video that came out in April, and he denounces all these charges. He says this guy's great. He gets along with his daughter. I'm not sure if it pertained to his daughter as well, but you know, he was saying that everything is fine. This morning in the Montreal Gazette, which is the paper that I read every morning, which is very reputable. I don't think that they would write fictitious stories. That charges are actually being placed against this guy that's his handler, and it was a lawyer that was fired that was still looking out for Stan Lee, looking out for his well-being. So apparently now the police have gone to the house a few times to check on him. Like, there's been reports already, and it's always been, you know, pushed under the rug. It's fine. But now here in June, they're finally pressing charges against this guy. So I'll show you a quick snippet of Stan Lee's quote-unquote interview. I don't know even if this was staged in April, because right at the beginning you hear the guy say "and action," and it kind of looks like Stan is reading off cards every once in a while. And also the Montreal Gazette you know, pieces of the interview and the story. So, you know, like, I'm like everyone else. I grew up with comics. Like, I really hope this isn't happening to Stan Lee, but at the same time, you know, stranger things have happened, and I just I'm wishing all the best for him. I hope everything gets cleared up. I hope he's okay. You know, he is 95 years old. I don't want to be greedy and say that he lives for another 20 or 30 years, but you know, if anyone can make it to 100, it's Stan. So let's take a look a little bit more at this information.
Just want to mention, my relationship with my daughter has never been better. And my friend Keya Morgan also and I have a great relationship. And anybody who is saying anything negative about us or about them suing me or me suing them is just spreading lies. And unfortunately, we seem to live in this sort of environment where anybody can say a lie about anybody, and it immediately gets published, and it gets transmitted, and millions of people read it, see it, and believe it, and force me, excuse me, and force me to make a speech like this, for which there should be no need. Everything in my life is going the way I want it to.
Former publisher, chairman, and editor-in-chief of Marvel, Stan Lee, filed a restraining order against his business partner, Keya Morgan, on Wednesday as Los Angeles police continue an investigation into reports of elder abuse against the 95-year-old. Morgan, who only recently began playing the role of business manager and advisor to Lee, is being accused in the filing of taking advantage of Lee's impaired hearing and vision, even preventing family and friends from contacting him, according to The Hollywood Reporter. On Monday, Morgan was arrested after he called 911 and filed a false police report claiming burglars had entered his home, when actually a pair of detectives and social workers had arrived on the scene to conduct a welfare check on Lee. Rumors of abuse have been circulating since, again, Mr. Lee's wife died in 2017, and the fight for control of his business began. Many of these reports suggest that Lee's daughter, JC, was abusing and taking advantage of her father. Lee's former lawyer, Tom Lawless, suggests that Morgan, who was a friend of JC's, began taking control of Lee's life and financial affairs, despite no prior business experience, upon learning the news of her father's declining health. He has since let go of much of Lee's staff, including Lawless, the attorney. Police have been investigating abuse claims involving Lee since last February and made 2 previous welfare checks at his home. They also reported that Lee did say Morgan was, quote-unquote, helping him, but at times could not recall his name. They also issued an emergency order keeping Morgan away from Lee before Wednesday's filing. Morgan was released after his arrest on Monday and is already serving 2 years of probation for making criminal threats in an unrelated dispute. So again, not the kind of stories that I really wanted to share, but at the same time, when I heard about it and I did a little of investigating of my own and checking on the local papers and checking online, this was, you know, kind of shocking and disheartening. Like, elder abuse to anyone, I find, is cruel and very out of line. But, you know, like, then to a celebrity like Stan Lee that we all grew up, you know, enjoying his work. Like, I've read comics as a little kid, and, you know, Marvel was what I read. So to hear something like this, you know, I just feel bad for Stan Lee, and I hope everything works out, and I hope the guilty parties get what's coming to them. So that's going to do it for this video, guys. Thanks a lot for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.